The Winston on FX is brought to you by UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck.
What's wrong with that picture?
The hood's upside down. UPS delivers a chance to win 4 tickets. Let me get through this for the Daytona 500. Log on to foxsports.com, keyword UPS Racing, and you could win. Okay, now about that hood.
Set up on the thing. They got it.
Help him out, Dick Berggren. Chad Knaus is as much psychologist as he is mechanical genius. And moments ago, here's what he said on the radio to his driver, Jimmy Johnson, as Jimmy was just coming into the pits.
We got to be smart here and think about what we're going to do here in just a couple minutes. I'm going to open up that shock about 4 or 5 clicks, and that should just let the car, when you go to rotate it, should just let it fall out of the hole and have some grip. Okay. Great job, buddy. Proud of you on that. You did awesome.
That's fun.
I mean, you were getting it.
Chad Knaus wearing our Fox microphone tonight, and among the rules that are different is after the timeout, you get your spot back. You line up the way you cross the line to end the segment.
And Larry, what he was talking about was clicking that left rear shock, I believe.
Yeah, the shocks actually have an adjuster. You can't change the actual shock, but you can change the adjustment on it, and that's a pretty major adjustment. But I think, you know, again, they're looking to something that see if it makes it better for these next segment, because you know what, if it's worse, they can undo it for that final segment.
Put it back.
That's it.
Next, 20 cars will race 30 laps, and only 14 will advance. As Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night continues on FX.
FX welcomes you back. All-Star Night at the Winston. 20 cars going 30 laps in segment 2. Here's what happened in segment 1. Tony Stewart, he said he'd like to lead and sweep all 3 segments. Jeff Gordon, the last to do that, the only one to do that in 1995. And Stewart passing Kevin Harvick on lap 13 and led 23 laps. Meanwhile, a little excitement here for Joe Nemechek. Jeff Hammond.
Joe got loose right there, got a little help right there around. He went come up forward, but he saved it. No caution. Continued, was able to finish 12th and advance in this next segment.
Tony Stewart's pit crew, that mandatory stop, they held their own. He held the lead, went on to lead the segment, but the excitement at the 20 transfer spot, Ricky Rudd passing Rusty Wallace to get in.
Just to barely get by him right there. Right there at the end, man. That's what it's all about. It's who wanted the more than anybody else. And right there, Ricky Rudd did it.
All right, so Ricky Rudd, the last of the 20 in Chevys with the top 3 spots in that first segment, 5 of the top 6. Let's see what happens in the second segment. Go back upstairs with Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Joy.
You see how they'll restart, and it's a double file restart, so first and second place up on the front row. 20 drivers advancing. Dale Jarrett, who was running in the back of the pack, climbed his way up to 15th. Good move in the closing laps, and Jeff Burton continues to pick up after transferring from the open. Now the caution laps count again in this 30-lap segment. You don't have to make a pit stop, but only 14 drivers advance.
And that's the critical thing right now, is to be in the next 14, because you know they're going to invert some of them. And that's going to be when things get interesting.
And that'd be more than likely 10.
That'd be more than likely all they can.
Steve Burns.
Well, Mike, listening to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s talk with Tony Eury Jr., he said, I need grip. He said, I'm tight in the center of the turns, but I'm loose getting off. So they made a track bar adjustment, then went down 1 round and made an air pressure adjustment. Let's go to Matt.
Kevin Harvick was complaining about his car being tight during that first segment. What'd you do to fix it, Todd Barrier?
We little wedge adjustment, all 4 tire air pressure adjustment, a little tape on the grill. We were running a little bit cool that last run, so we're kind of creeping up on it a little bit right here. We we got one more chance at it here, just a little bit, another little break to make a few more changes. So I think it's going to be better this time.
His big question was where he wanted that car to finish at the end of this segment, knowing there's going to be an inversion. Mike?
Here is the second winning code in the Denny's Taste Victory Sweepstakes. Check and see if this is your winning code. If it's not, you'll have another chance later in the program. Pace car is in.
Okay, just straight 30 laps. This is where the pit crew, the guys on pit road, they just get to watch this segment.
Green. And again, you want to be leading. I just think you want to get out front and hold them off. Problem is, how many are they going to invert? That's what some of these guys are asking themselves.
Kevin Harvick in the 29, he got a pretty good restart. Looked like he wanted to peek to the inside, but boy, Tony Stewart, he comes off turn 2. He's shot out of a cannon.
That car is fast. Bad fast.
So is Harvick's. Remember, he led the first few laps of the first segment. So from the get-go, Harvick has been quick.
And the changes that they made to Jimmy Johnson's car might seem insignificant, but they'll change the feel of that car, and it may take him a lap or 2 to get back going again.
Three wide, Kurt Busch. I can't believe he stuck it in there.
I mean,
wow.
They had Sterling Marlin. He didn't know what to do by the time they got to turn one in the 40 car.
That boy is brave.
Well, you just don't have time to fool around in this segment. You have to go.
If there's a way to go through there, you got to go.
And if there isn't, you still got to try it.
That's right. You'll make a way.
All right, 14th is the transfer spot. Last lap by, Mark Martin had the 14th spot. This time by Jeff Burton, the 99 has it.
And that's why I think this Winston and this kind of format complements the young, aggressive driver. Because you got to go. You can't wait. You can't give a guy a break.
Patience is not a virtue. It's a ticket to vacation. Patience, you're going home.
That's your transfer slip.
Right, Dick Bergeron.
Chad Knaus has suggested to his driver, Jimmy Johnson, that he might consider dropping back just a little bit to see how that car will behave in traffic. They are anticipating the inversion. They want to see how this thing is going to run behind some other cars. Steve Burns.
Well, Dick pole sitter Bill Elliott said he was very good going through 1 and 2 in that first segment. He could arc the car in there, but at turns 3 and 4, he would lose the front end. So they made a wedge adjustment on that number 9 car.
Now, Dick Bergeron, they got you again. They want him to drop back where he'll be starting at the front of that third segment, not where that thing will drive in traffic.
Right.
Watch Mark Martin. Pow.
Oh, boy.
That was off turn 4.
Yeah, and he's got quite a bit of damage to the right side of that car, Mike.
Tony Stewart, the lead of half a second over Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr. And right now, Ricky Craven is on the bubble. 14th. Jeff Burton and Ryan Newman, last year's winner, fighting for it.
Well, I don't like the way Sterling and Jeff Gordon have been mighty close to each other here the last several laps.
And I'm going to tell you what, it's been a long time since we've not seen that 24 car, Jeff Gordon, running up near the front at a Winston.
What a knot of cars this is.
Whoa, he's in trouble. You just mentioned it, Darrell.
Yeah.
And Gordon gets hard on the brakes and gets through.
And Jeff Burton just about had to come to a complete stop in the 99 to keep from getting into it.
But does.
That had "I'm trying to stay off of you but can't" written all over it.
Caution is out, of course.
And that will erase Tony Stewart's lead of what was then about 7/10 of a second.
Now, definitely what this will allow the cars, especially at the back of the field, to do.
Come in and get forward and look at the valence. How tired are you?
Heard Tony Glover right there talking to him, asking him some questions about his race car. They're going to come get 4 tires, and I'd say cars at the rear of the field will as well.
Yeah, and you know, once you've got damage like that to the car, you got to be in the top 14 to make it. I don't think you can see there's just not enough. Jeff's trying to stay down on that white line, and he was sliding up just ever so slightly, and Sterling was not giving him a lot of room.
Boy, Jeff Burton just barely got stopped in the 99. He'll definitely have to get 4 tires as well.
I think if I'm anywhere near maybe from Terry Labonte, Kurt Busch on back, I'm coming and getting me some tires. Yeah, he'll have a
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car. We're looking at another angle. He decides to come in pit road.
Jeff got a little damage as he went by Sterling. I don't know how much.
11 cars are on pit road. 11 of 20. Who's coming? Who's going? I'm going. Steve.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s in. They're going to put a spring rubber in the right rear of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Chevy. Spring rubber in the right rear, and they'll change all 4 tires. Left side tires going on, but the big adjustment, a spring rubber in the right rear. He said it was tight, but good tight. To Matt.
And service already complete on Jeff Gordon Chevrolet. 4 tires. They made a chassis adjustment. They also pulled out the right front fender on the 24 car.
A collision between Jeff Gordon and Sterling Marlin put us under caution.